and gentlemen, at this time we will hear from Major General Carden, the Georgia National Guard Adjutant General, and he will open the ceremony with his opening remarks.
Previously recognized distinguished guests, thanks for being here. I'll tell you, I'm sorry we have to do this. I really am, because it's a demonstration to me that sometimes we lack home training in our formation. So the reason that we're here today, in a lot of ways, brings sadness to me, because we're doing this because we're not treating people like we ought to be treating people. And I've often told soldiers and airmen in the formation, if you didn't come here with home training, we're probably not going to be able to give you home training in the formation. But I will tell you, if you mistreat a soldier, an airman, a civilian employee, a vendor, you name it, that comes in contact with our formation, there's a wood chipper with your name on it. Okay? There's going to be some accountability. Now, I would prefer we all work together to prevent it so that we never have to have this conversation again. I'm not optimistic that that's going to happen, but we all got to work together to make sure that we get in front of this sort of thing so that we're not dealing with victims. You know, we've got a culture these days where people sometimes want to be a victim. We've even got people that will pay somebody to make them a victim. All right? We don't want victims. We want to make sure that we prevent victimization of people that are somehow deemed weak. I will tell you, having looked at the trends since I've been dealing with this issue, since it really became the focus of a lot of congressional investigations, we found that a lot of it wasn't reported. And so people just pretended like we didn't have a problem until the problem grew out of control and people couldn't deny it anymore. Okay? So what do? There's no Gucci programs in the world that substitute for engaged leadership. And where we have these problems, I think we've got gaps in leadership. Every problem, whether it's this or any other problem in this organization, you know, it starts with a series of concentric circles. And that first and most tightest circle goes right around my desk. Okay? So I'm responsible. If somebody in this formation is mistreated in any way, and in this case we're talking about sexual assault, sexual harassment, lack of dignity and respect, part of that blame and responsibility rests with me. And so I take it personally to make sure that we create an environment where it's just flat not acceptable and that everybody rejects it. And so what trends, do we see with respect to sexual assault? I will tell you one of the most consistent trends I see in every case is alcohol. Alcohol impairs judgment. So it's no surprise to me that alcohol plays a huge role in many of these sexual assaults, and it's not an excuse. It's not an excuse for behavior. And when we see, people in a social environment that drink too much alcohol, and we notice that their judgment is impaired, one of the things we got to do, and we'll talk a little bit about more, is actively intervene to stop that sort of behavior. And I think we'll recognize some folks that have the courage to do that. And that helps prevent things from happening that shouldn't happen. And then we got to report that behavior so that we deal with the behavior. So it's a somber topic, not things that I like to spend a lot of time on because I'm an optimist and I like for things to be positive, but we can't deny that we have a problem in our organization. We have a problem across the military, and we got to face those problems head on. We got to take it serious. So I got two teenagers. I got a son and I got a daughter. So how many of y'all got let's just say a teenage daughter here. Who's got a teenage daughter out there? Okay. All right, so Colonel Gentry's got a teenage daughter. So we're supposed to, and I'm responsible, as a senior servant in this organization, that if your daughter joined the formation, to take your daughter to train and equip your daughter to be able to go to war and have every opportunity to do the mission and to come back like we picked her up from. But if I demonstrate to you that I can't get your daughter to drill, and I can't get your daughter to say to Fort Stewart to a training event and back without her being sexually assaulted by somebody that's supposed to be her teammate, somebody that's supposed to be her battle buddy, somebody that's supposed to have her back in the most strenuous of combat situations. So what can I tell you in the aftermath of that to make you feel better about this organization's leader climate?
Nothing, sir. You'll have to bail me out.
Exactly. You want to punch me in the face, and justifiably so, because ultimately I'm responsible. I'm responsible. And I think if every leader in our organization takes that position, that every soldier that you have purview, every airman that you have purview to make sure, with respect to carry feed, to get them trained, to get them equipped, and get them in combat, and get them back. We got to be able to do, routine business without that person coming to work and fearing that somebody's going to try to take advantage of them. Somebody's going to disrespect them either verbally or physically. Dignity and respect, I think, has just become such a common and trite comment that it doesn't mean anything to anybody anymore. And so I think this observance gives us a moment as leaders to step back and take a look at ourselves and think about where our own gaps are, where we have not done things that we should do to create a climate that just makes it flat unacceptable, where people don't even think about that sort of behavior in and around our formation. And I'll tell you that every time I think about it, I can see things just from seeing myself that I can personally do better. And I think if everybody in this room and everybody in the organization just takes a few minutes versus, looking at somebody that does something, the subject, if you will, and everybody gets mad at that, and they should be. They get mad with the subject, and they want the subject held accountable, and all of that due process happens in due time. If they're, found to be substantiated again, there's significant accountability waiting at the end of the line for that sort of thing. But I think if we create a climate where people don't even think about it here, I think we'll be in a better place. As an organization, we'll be more combat ready. We'll have a place where people will more want to come to work. Our retention will improve, and a lot of things will get better in our formation. But it can't just be, major blasting game. It can't just be the folks in the, what do you call that color, teal? Teal, okay, the teal shirts and eating the teal donuts and drinking that. It can't just be me. It can't just be them. It's got to be you. It's got to be you. You got to take it personally, because there are a lot of things you can look at as professional obligations, and certainly this is a professional obligation. But when it comes down to how you treat people that you're supposed to deploy to war with, the things that we ask people to do in this organization, sign a blank check and give everything up into your life to defend an idea about freedom, and an idea about protecting your neighbors in a natural disaster kind of thing. And then we run into situations where we can't take people on a routine training mission without somebody mistreating them. So I would just ask that you all help this organization create the climate that I just described. People talk about, hashtag me too. And so I got a couple of hashtags for you. Not me, hashtag not here, hashtag not acceptable. Hashtags along those lines are the ones that I think we got to take a look at. We're just flat not going to accept it here, but we all got to work together. And this is a full contact team sport, and I can stand up here and I'll probably use any of the talking points Major Blasting Game gave me. I wrote a couple of notes on the back of a 5IE card, because I don't need talking points to tell you how much I care about soldiers and airmen. You can question my judgment, you can question my delivery, you can question my decisions, but I'll tell you, I don't think you can ever be in a position to question my love for this organization and the people that are in it.